What is going on, guys? Camden Drexel is back for another episode of the podcast. Wow, shocker. I'm back after months off. I had a good break. I had a break from school for about 6 weeks, and now I'm back at school finishing up my last semester at college and I graduate. But I have another friend of mine from back home. He is Optic Reacts. He is the Optic. He is everything you know. And guess what? We're going to talk about social media today, memories, friend group, collecting items like Funkos, anime a little bit, and yeah, there's a lot going on. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi guys, my name is Nicholas Tamaro. Of course, from what he's introduced, I basically am Optic Reacts on TikTok, YouTube, and I just been a friend with Camden for about I think 3 years now. Is it 3 years? Maybe more, somewhere around there. So we'll be going in debt with some things during this podcast to discuss things what we've been through for the past 3 years and how we inspired each other to be better and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little inspirational today. But you want to talk about how we met, and because it's kind of
Um,
it's different. Mike's his
so
brother. Mike,
Yeah, so
yeah.
okay, so yeah, basically, so the story's for the long story. Basically, I went to Greece Athena High School with Camden, Sam, and all the other guys that are in our friend group. But at the time, I didn't really talk to them. I was mainly on the basketball team for Greece Athena. So basically, those were my friends during high school. I didn't really like talk to Camden. I didn't really talk to Sam. I didn't really talk to Matt and all the other guys that are in our friend group. But that one time when Michael went to Brockport for college, he eventually met Zachary. Of course, that's Harney. And then they started to talk because they were in the same major for college. And that's how they hit it off. They liked something in common, which was the Yankees, and they just started talking a lot more because of it. And then obviously their friendship began to grow, and eventually I started to come in the mix because when Michael knew Harney, then I eventually met Harney, and I'm like, okay, wait, Harney, yeah, I remember that name because I remember I used to kind of talk to him in high school. So when I talked to him in high school, um, I guess after like the amount of years when Michael was with Zach, I think there was just that one party that Zachary had for his birthday, and then that's when I met most of the guys there that are my friends today now. So I met a little bit of Ken. I didn't really talk to Ken at the time. He was more like trying to introduce himself to me a little bit, but really really hit it off yet. And then also with Sam, also with maybe, I think I don't know if Brandon was there, but I think there was also Richard. There was Payne there? I don't think Payne was there, was it? Was he? No, we didn't even know Payne at the time yet. So, yeah, so but just basically the general broad of, like, the guys that we originally met from, like, 3 to 4 years ago, that's who, like, was there at the party. So after, like, a few weeks after that, after the party, I think Camden wanted my number maybe or something like that. And
Hmm.
then I guess after that, we just started texting each other, and then, we started hanging out more, and then that's when we became better friends than we are now. And eventually we became best friends, and I feel like that is probably one of the best things that happens in my friendship lives. So, I'm glad that happened. So basically, that's just basically the broad story of how me and Camden really got to become friends was just through through people that I've known from the past that I didn't really talk to, but it eventually came back to me when, of course, Michael is always in the mix of it, that he got me into making these friends as well. It's always Michael.
It's
Michael
always
tends to be
Michael.
like it's always Michael because like every time I'm with him, I'll make the same friends as him, and I feel like that no matter where I go, I'm never uncomfortable because I know these people, and I've hung out with these people, and I know who they are, and I feel like that I just knowing them just makes it more comfortable for me, and I could be with these people all the time.
Very interesting. Yeah, no, a couple of those people you mentioned, I knew Payne in elementary school for a little bit, and then a couple other of our friends. But there's going to be some memories that we talk about, including Super Smash Bros. We'll get into that.
Oh,
We'll get into that.
yeah, that's a topic we gotta talk about.
But as I'm finding the quote, talk about the memories, recent or
Specifically about,
whatever. It doesn't matter. Come up with
um,
3 to 5 or whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
like, memories that we've had in the past, like that
Like
type of
us,
shit,
or
or
it can be in like our friend group that include both
um
of us.
that's a great question. So basically, my favorite ones have to be from, of course, the land. Like, that was probably one of the best times I've had with the guys, especially because, it's all the guys enjoying their time, enjoying a break, enjoying a like, just closing out everything around them, their environments, the stresses in life. It's just that you're trying to have a good time at a place where it's just you're with nature, and then you're also with the guys, and you're trying to enjoy your time there. And, we're all riding the four-wheelers, the mule, and then we're, enjoying the fucking forest and Chris's land. So it's very enjoyable being there always because when I'm usually there with Michael, it's the same old thing because we used to go there when we were younger, and it's like it's boring, because I've seen it every time. But it's when you're with other people, it makes it a whole different experience. That's why I like going to the land now with you guys because the land is just more enjoyable when you're there because you just make it all more memorable to all of us, especially me and Mike.
Yeah, because it's not as boring because you don't see the same people each time. And we're
Exactly. Yeah.
and we're all getting older, and we have certain amount of things and time that we have constrained to us because we work, got all that stuff. Me and you are finishing college, which is crazy, coming
Yep.
in 5 months. Oh my god, it's
Still
nuts.
shocking to me, bro. It's like it's like my freshman year of high school already. It's just it's stutter.
You pull a Harney. You pulled a Harney.
It's just insane to me that yeah, I did pull a Harney, but it's just insane to me that how like life tends to like go quick just by a blink of an eye. And people in my life have said it before, and I'm even saying it now. Like you gotta like pause for a minute and just look around you and just cherish what you have now because you realize that when you want life to go quick, you're gonna realize that life is just gonna flash before your eyes without
Yep,
even knowing it,
it will.
because you're just thinking about other things in life that you're not focusing on life itself.
No, I agree 100%. So taking a little intermission with memories of ours, because he mentioned just basically one, which is the land, which we've actually talked about in a previous episode with Mike, and then a little
Yes.
bit with Sam. But
Yep,
I
yep.
have I have a quote from Sylvester Stallone. It says, "I believe there is an inner power that makes us winners or losers, and the winners are the ones who really listen to their truths of their hearts." So what do you think about that?
So, I believe that, this Sylvester Stallone said this one, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be true to what you believe in because I know if you ever seen Rocky or if you ever seen one of those, like, movies that Sylvester Stallone has done, it's just that if you stick to your truths and you're strong and you're willing to, strive to what you're trying to go for greatness, you will be successful no matter what. You have to strive, you have to be disciplined, you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing and just be strong. It can be hard at times, and
Yep.
I've many people have struggled with it. Some people don't admit it, some people do, because some people think it may be a weakness and they don't wanna show it, and there's people that do so they can just get out of it. But I feel like that for me in my life, that if I'm willing to never give up no matter where I'm at or how I'm feeling, because I know for a fact if I do, I'm basically it's over for me. And I can never do that. I can never say, "Yep, I give up. I can't let this happen anymore." So I'm just gonna keep going, keep striving, keep working for greatness no matter what the cost is.
Exactly. And like what you mentioned, there's a very similar scenario that's going on right now because Nick, he's huge on TikTok with two accounts. He has probably almost 200,000 followers with two accounts. And he popped
I
off with
and
reaction videos. And look, he's still not giving up. Yeah, his views they tanked. Oh well. Well, guess what? We have to adapt. And look, TikTok might get banned in a couple days from when the podcast is getting posted, but we got to learn, we got to adapt, and we got to figure out the situation, the algorithm, and all sorts of stuff. But
exactly.
being disciplined and having open minded, and being willing to adapt and move to do certain things definitely makes you a better person. But let me know what you guys think about that quote. I'm going to talk about what I think about this inner power that makes us winners or losers. Well, losers, they give up. They're basically the
Exactly.
opposite of John Cena. If you guys watch wrestling, that man never gives up. He's persistent, he's resilient, and he listens to his heart. And guess what? If you realize, and like Nick said probably about a couple minutes ago, if you sit back and look around and adapt and see what's going on in your life and you're just not going speed, speed, speed,
Mhm.
then you're going to be the one that listens to their heart, listens to their gut, and is going to succeed. Might take a while, but you got to set little goals and little things. And guess what? Things are going to come to you. You got to wait. You got to be patient. There's a lot of things that have changed in my life in the past couple of months, and I was patient. I let it come to me. But there's always going to be a barrier. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be something that is overwhelming you. But you got to settle down and look what's going around you and be happy.
Exactly. Yep.
So, but going back into good memories. So, do you want to talk about Smash now?
Yeah, that's like one of the most that's like my favorite topic I really want to talk about in this podcast. So, if
Oh
you guys don't
my
know what
God.
Smash Bros is a Nintendo Switch game, or it's been in the Nintendo for many many years, and it is a game that's basically you have all these Nintendo characters like Mario, Donkey Kong, Bowser, and other characters from like different games like Cloud from Final Fantasy, Banjo and Kazooie, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, and so on and so forth. There's just so many characters into the game that it's just overwhelmingly a lot of people to like look at and figure out what's like the best character you want to play as.
Oh yeah,
It's like
Sam. Sam loves his Bowser and Banjo Kazooie. Oh my
I'm telling
God.
you, when Sam would always mention to me that like, Bowser and Banjo are his favorite characters, I'm like, "Yep, this guy's a virgin." Anyway, but,
There is no way you just call him a virgin on the
oh,
podcast. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yep, yes, he
Crazy.
is. Yeah. Are you gonna put that in?
I told you I'm not editing this besides the beginning part. So Sam, you're hearing the truth. And Christina, I'm sorry if you heard that.
Anyway, so I love Sam still, but, anyway, so basically, um, so when Sam out of nowhere, when we played Smash, I played Smash Bros for a very long time. I've played it since I started playing it again since 2018, but I actually took it seriously around like 2019, 2020 during COVID time because like at COVID, everyone had to stay inside. So basically, no matter where you were, no matter where you wanted to go, you couldn't go anywhere because you had to stay in your house because of COVID. So basically, what I spent with most of my time was school, video games, and one of the main video games I played was Smash Bros. So I watched competitive games online and like, tournaments. I played so much online against other people, and I just eventually got better as time went on. And when Michael, Sam, and even Payne, when they play me and play against me, they're like, "Yeah, you got nothing, bro. You're not good. You may have played 5,000 hours into the game." I'm like, "Yeah, because that's the only thing I did during COVID. There's nothing I could have done." And so basically I'm obvious as you could tell from me talking about this, I'm obviously the best player in our friend group. By far. I don't even have to stress it.
And he
But
doesn't
I
even need a main. That's the
I
thing. Like he'll play
exactly. I
random,
don't
which is crazy.
Ex like, I know too much of the game for people to think like, "Yup, there's I can beat this guy every time." You have to know what the game mechanics are in order to beat me. That's how you'll beat me. That's a hint for you guys, especially you, Sam, who ignores to listen to me every time I play against him. He ignores everything. I give them so many tips, but they're like, "No, I don't wanna hear you, bro. You got 5,000 hours. I don't wanna hear it." I'm like, "Okay,
Do your
that's
studying
on
and
you."
practice. That's literally all it
And
is.
I'm trying to tell them what to do, but they just don't listen. I'm not, dancing around and saying, "Yo, I'm so good at this game." Like I try to teach them, but they're like, "Nah, you're too good at this game, bro. I don't want to hear from you. I'll just figure it out myself." Okay, sure. Why not? You do you. But
And you
yeah,
wanna know
so
what's crazy?
what's up?
That's just a life lesson too. If you want to try and help people and you're dedicated to something, say just random thing. Say you're an editor, right? You do little
Mhm.
animations on After Effects and all sorts of stuff like that. You put hours into it,
Yeah.
you watch anime, you do studying, you figure out stuff on YouTube and you do your thing. That's practice. If you're not going to
Mhm.
practice enough and do enough to be as good and then you get beat and then you talk crap about it, well guess what? You're gonna lose. It's just the way it
Exactly.
is. That's just how life is. If you're not practicing something, yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. But guess what? You're winning or losing. Kind of what Sylvester Stallone was talking about. Listen to your heart, but you have to practice. That goes with anything in life. And if you want to get
Mhm.
into something and you want to commit to it, practice with it a lot, as many times as you can. And if you don't have enough open time, try to do that in little spurts of time. Yeah, it might take longer, but stuff happens like that. But
Exactly.
continue with what you
And
were gonna say.
yeah. Played Smash Bros. If anyone when anyone listens to this podcast, if you ever play Smash Bros, it brings the dark side out of people, and I mean
Oh,
the dark
no.
side. Like, you ever watch Star Wars? The dark side.
Oh,
People get
no.
so mad when we play Smash Bros. In our friend group, when we play Smash together, you better be expecting chaos.
It's
That's what you're
chaos.
expecting. It like,
Uh-huh.
we get so like, people get so mad when they play against me or anyone else when they lose against each other.
Mhm.
They get so evil, not like, evil, like, like, "I'm gonna kill you," not like that, but, like, evil to the point where, like, we're cussing at each other, we're yelling at each other. That's how bad
Exactly.
it is. Gaming is supposed to be competitive in some games, of course. Like, Smash Bros is definitely one of them. And, they will always tend to get me out of the game first because I'm the best player on the game in the game for them. So, basically, they want me out first. And
Exactly.
so, basically, just if you're playing that game, just expect chaos. Like,
I've
if
had a
anyone
crash
plays
out before, and it was
oh, yeah.
recent, and it was not
There's
fun.
too many crash outs when you play, Smash Bros. Or any fighting game in general, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken,
That's crazy.
any of those games. It's chaos. It's chaos. It's a very co these they're very competitive games.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
not good at it, do please don't.
What would you say? You cut out a little bit. You lagged.
I was saying that, like, if you're like Sam that's dedicated to the game and you never played it before, don't play it if you're not dedicated, like
And the
any
thing
fighting
is
game.
and the thing is too, he doesn't have the console at his house, he doesn't have the game, so how is he
But
gonna get better? That's the
he
only time
was
it was
mentioning he was asking me, before Christmas, like, "Should I get a Switch?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you have to wait because the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out,
that's
I
true.
think that I think this year, but I don't know if there's gonna be a new Smash game that comes out. If that is the case, I am 100% buying that, and I can't wait to try that out because 'cause I'm still gonna play Smash Bros. Until the day I die, because that's, like, one of my favorite games of all time.
I gotcha. And, funny enough, we're talking about just getting stuff in general. My dad got me a new microphone, so if you guys can tell there's a difference with a microphone and the quality, we both got the best microphones on the market right now, so
Yeah, we
we're
needed them
dedicating
because
towards it.
I used to have if you ever edit or you ever put a video of us just like with this on the Discord, like if you just show like a picture of like the HyperQuest X microphone, that's
Mhm.
what I used to have. But it sounded for some reason whenever I talk with it, it sounded very choppy. If you know what I mean, when you hear microphones and they're choppy,
Exactly. Mhm.
that's what it sounded like. So I wanted a microphone that was like that had the crisp quality that I need to
Yep.
make quality content and be able to make sure that my recordings are perfect. And
Exactly.
it and my voice isn't the problem. It just hopefully just a recording issue or something. My
That
microphone
you
should
can
never
fix
be
in
the problem,
post.
no matter what.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. Yep.
Exactly. Alright, do you have another memory besides Smash and the land?
Um,
Oh, I got a good one. I got a good one.
which one?
Okay, so this was recent as well. So when I was home during break and I was over at Nick's house, so we were just watching Sonic Prime, and
Mm. Oh.
I was just chilling, and I was tired for some reason during the day, and I took like a 10-15 minute nap during an episode, and I just passed out, and Nick's like, he looks over, and then I wake up after the nap, and he's what did you say? I forgot what you said.
Okay, so this is what I said. So when he woke up, he's like, I'm like, bro, are you serious? And he's like, what do you mean I'm up, man? I'm up. And I'm like, bro, you're not up. You were snoring the entire time. You were sleeping. He's like, no, 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 I got one eye open. No, you don't. Who sits with one open and snores? No one does that unless you're from a cartoon.
Oh
The
my gosh. And I missed the main part of the freaking episode. I missed
You
the
yeah, and
it
like,
was
bro, I'm
so
like, "Bro, you missed, like, 20 minutes of the first episode of Sonic Prime. Why the fuck would you fall asleep like that?" Bro, just say, like, "Bro, I'm tired, just, I'll go to bed real quick." I'm like, "Okay, I'll just watch it on myself then." I waited there for 20 minutes, paused, And then I'm like, this kid fell asleep, so I'm just gonna play this shit and watch it.
Oh my god, it was so funny. It was so
That
funny
like,
after fact.
bro, I was like concerned. I'm like, bro, did you not realize that he just fell asleep?
I didn't. I just constantly just went.
I'm like, cause like I wasn't hear you talking to next to me when you were like next to me, like sitting next to me, and I was like, wait a minute. So I looked to my left. I'm like, oh shit, he's
Yeah, but no,
sleeping.
talking about Sonic. And we're talking about Sonic Prime. We actually watched Sonic 3. What were your thoughts on it, Nick?
That is probably the best film of 24 for me, for sure.
I agree.
Cause I don't know, I don't remember since January of 24 of what I've watched. But Sonic 3, it's like I felt like I was a kid again because, like, just back from, like, watching and, having Sonic as a childhood thing,
Hmm.
as a childhood hero, especially
A little bit,
before
yeah.
before I got into anime, which is a whole different topic we'll talk about. But, Sonic, Mario, and Power Rangers were, like, my shit back when I was, like, maybe, like, 8 years old to, like, 14, and I just constantly love Sonic, Mario, Nintendo games, all that stuff. So, just seeing Sonic 3 just made it feel like that, and being able to see my favorite character, Shadow, be in Sonic 3 made it probably my favorite film of 24. Exactly, like, Camden right now is showing his pop from, his Shadow pop and from Funko Pops,
I
and
spent
I need
$50 on the new like movie. I got Shadow, I got Silver. Well, Silver's not in the new movie. Um,
Yeah, I think
I'm trying to get
he's in a
more.
few video games, and I think he's in a
Yep,
show. I don't know if
exactly.
he's in Sonic X, I'm not too sure though, but I have to that's another show I gotta
I
watch.
think he is,
I think he is, I
but
don't remember
we'll
though.
figure it out when we watch it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But going back to memories, no, I think that was only another recent memory that was pretty funny. Oh, I have another one. So a couple years ago, or no, a year and a half, last summer, that's what it was, summer 24. I was sitting in Nick's room and we were streaming. I think it was Dragon Ball Legends, which is a
Uh,
mobile game
yes.
that we were
Yep,
playing.
yep.
And I mentioned to his chat, we had like I think like 100 to 200 people in there. I'm like, if somebody sends a galaxy right now and we pull like one of the units, which is like one of the big players that you can get, I
Yeah,
I
yep.
probably will fall over in the chair or something like that. Funny enough, a couple months before that, Nick reacted to a video and fell in the chair backwards in that game. Do you want to explain that?
Okay, so as an anime dweeb that I am, so I was watching because for some reason, since we're gonna talk about anime at this point, so I began watching anime when it was August, or I think forget which month. I think it was in the summer of 2020 or 21. I can't remember. It's one of those days. I just my boy Freddie, shout out to Freddie, was telling me about watching anime. At that point, like when I was back in those times, like in 2019, I was like, bro, anime, bro, what the fuck? No one wants to watch that. Like,
Oh, who
like
does that
that's like
sound like? That sounds like Mike and Sam, huh?
Hey,
Crazy.
yep, exactly. But Sam's more lenient to that. He's more willing to be he would watch that depending on what series it is. He wouldn't watch the shit I would watch. Okay, that's
Exactly.
just something we'll talk about, but
Sam's
20 is
collectibles. Then okay. Another reason why
exactly,
Sam
yeah.
does it is because he has all his own business. He does stuff with Funkos and all sorts of other
His
collectible stuff.
unemployment business, but okay.
I don't even know if I was supposed to mention that. Sam might get mad. Oh well. Who gives a crap? But continue
Pissed off
continue what you're
Sam.
talking about.
Anyway, so when I was watching so I started watching Dragon Ball Super, which was which is funny because usually when you watch anime, the first thing you would watch is Dragon Ball. Now, let me explain. So Dragon Ball has a different types of series. It's the same universe, same thing, same storyline. It's just that they're all in separate story modes, basically. So basically, there's Dragon Ball when Goku's a kid. There's Dragon Ball Z when he's a grown up, when he has a kid, Gohan, and all that stuff, and all the crazy adventures he goes on, and all the crazy power ups he has in the future. And then there was Dragon Ball GT, We'll forget about that because that one was shit, but who cares? Dragon Ball Super was the next one after Z. So we forget about GT in general. So Dragon Ball Super was the first one I've ever watched anime-wise. And when I watched that, I fell in love right away. Because Dragon Ball I think is technically a shonen, which means like it's like mainly battles and stuff. There's no like romance, there's no like there's no like drama. It's just like fantasy and shonen. That was my shit when I started watching it. And then I guess I branched off of shonen because I was like, "Bro, this is like I've seen the same fights every time, so let me just try something different." So I'm looking through Crunchyroll, which is an app that gives you access to any animes you want. Not really, but it kind of does. But so I started to look into different genres, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna take a look at romance because I've been hearing a lot of people say that romance is peak." My first romance I've ever watched was called More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. I recommended it to Camden. It is my first one, and it's probably one of my favorite ones I've ever watched because it is actually really interesting, and it actually, like it makes me feel like that I should be a better person or, like, a better partner to someone. That like, I feel like that's how, like, I every time I watch romances, like, I try to become a good partner to everyone that I know like, that I ever be with. Like, I'll never be a shit to a woman ever, no matter who it is, no matter how like, I think it's just wrong. That's why I feel like that just seeing romances, like, I just love watching them, and I just feel like it helps me also teach myself to become a better partner to my future wife or whatever in the future. So that's why I think anime that I've watched over the past 5 years, like, it honestly changed my perspective a lot of everything, and I feel like that just watching it, and I think I owe it to it, so that's why I'm making content about, anime, which I'll get into right now with Optic Reacts and Optic.ae, which means After Effects at the end.
Optic.
Yeah, exactly. So basically Optic AE was my it was a as an anime editing account that I started back in 2020. Oh my goodness, 23 of June, I think. Maybe October of 22. I can't remember. But I started like 2 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago. And I started doing like clips of Dragon Ball, but then when I started actually like doing like edits, that's when my TikTok really popped off. I see you starting massive follows, massive likes, massive shares. I'm like, dang, this is actually really good. I actually like doing this. And I'm like, I'm getting the attention that I actually want of doing what I like to do. So I started doing it, and then I'm like, you know what? Since I like doing editing, why don't I just start a reaction channel? Because I see other people do it, so there was a guy that I saw, his name is Corey, that I used to know on TikTok. I'm not gonna say we're friends, I'd say we're like kinda like people we know each other that we're doing the same common goal. So basically I saw his channel, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. So that's when I started buying a PC. I started buying equipment for my microphone, a camera to record myself, to show my reactions. And that's when I started to pop off. I started doing October of 23 is when I started. And I remember when I first started, the views were terrible, and that's how everyone starts, especially when you're on TikTok. You get
Mhm.
shit views, you get no engagement, you get no shares, no likes, no comments, nada, nothing, no follows, not even follows. So what do you have to do? You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. You have to make sure you got to keep going because content is not one thing you get lucky. Very rare people, very little people get very lucky like that, where they just get one video to pop them off and they're famous. Like I don't even want to mention these people in this podcast because I think they're the most ridiculous things on this planet.
Hmm.
Like the Hawk Tua girl. There's
Vex
the
bolts.
Vex bolts, these dumb people that just get famous because they just said one thing or there's just some dumb thing they did, and now it's like
Yep.
trending all over TikTok, and people engage with it, and that's how they get famous and make money. And I think it's just ridiculous. I like the people that are working so hard to get content out there
Yep.
to make it interesting for everyone. The fact that they're not getting the engagement that they need is those people deserve it because
And
they're
that's the people I
disciplined.
like watching.
Exactly. Those are the people that are consistent. They're always trying to work their ass off to make sure that they're giving the best content out there, and they're always, like, sacrificing sleep, sacrificing time in their lives just to give and to have a meaning of something doing content, and that's what
Exactly.
I wanna do. That's something I wanna do in my life. I've always loved doing content. Content was my only thing I enjoy doing, and I wanted to make it to a career. But my mom is like, "No, no, you can't do that. You know how hard that." I'm like, "Ma, you're not you gotta treat your account or you gotta treat your
Brand.
social media as a brand or business."
Yep.
That's how most people start when they do businesses. Businesses always start fresh. They start from scratch. And in order for you to make a successful business, you have to start from scratch and work your way up until you make it something successful. And that's what most businesses do. Like Apple is one of them. Starbucks, all these different companies are starting from scratch. And
Yep.
that's how you build a business. And you got
Exactly.
to treat your social media business like your social media as a business. And that's what I plan on doing. But you can never give up on what you do. Find ways to promote your brand. Find ways to find trending things to do for your channel. Find something to make viewers engage with yourself. Your audience is your most important factor when it comes to making a social media account to make it also as a business because your audience is your most important because those are the people that are making your channel worth it and being able to be worth watching. That's your people right there. Never betray them, never look down on them. Those are your people. Those are the people that are making your channel grow as is.
Yep. And I agree with that 100%.
Mhm. Yep.
Basically you answered a couple of the points I was talking about, how you started your social media grind. And
Yeah.
Nick, so I started talking to him morely in 23 of the summer, which was like June to September, right before I went back to school. He influenced
Yeah.
me to start a reaction channel, and now I'm still with it. But TikTok, I switched and did a couple things, and I ruined my own algorithm. So I'm moving from TikTok, and I'm just staying on YouTube. Shorts are my thing that's on YouTube right now, and I'm following with. It's kind of hard because I'm at school right now, and I'm starting to get busy and all that stuff. So the consistency of how much I post is going to be a lot harder. One, and hopefully this summer when I'm done with school, I can start focusing more on my YouTube and figuring out what social media I want to do, because Instagram, I don't get the algorithm, but YouTube I do, and all sorts of stuff like that. But I appreciate Nick for helping me and teaching me all these certain things. Like After Effects, he taught me how to use, and now I use it for edits, and those have popped off a little bit on YouTube. Premiere taught myself and from school, and then just putting my reactions out. And I've had a successful reaction channel, I would say, but I just still got to figure out what I want to do for social media. I have a couple things of what I want to do, but um, well, if you had to say one or two sentences, why do you do social media?
The reason why I do social media is because it was always been a career in mind that I always wanted to do since I was a kid. So, I don't know if you're familiar. You may be familiar with some of these people, but I don't know if you're familiar with. So my first YouTuber I've ever watched when I ever started on YouTube was a guy named C Nanners. Have you ever heard of him before?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so basically C Nanners was like a YouTuber that was he was very popular back at the 2010s. So this was when I was like a kid. So
That's when
basically
YouTube first started, was 2006? 20,
2008, I think. I think it
or
was
8,
2006
yeah.
or 2008, somewhere
Yep.
around there. But so the 2010s, C Nanners was a huge YouTuber. He was at 5 million subscribers, and he did games like Gary's Mod. He did games like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, Zombies. Like he was my idol when I was growing up. Like as for doing content, he just made every video so funny and worth watching. I'm like, "Man, this is something I may wanna pursue in my life, in my future, maybe." Just do content, and I love doing it, and I saw people who do it, they love doing it as well, so I'm like, "You know what? That inspires me to do something that I wanna do, and that's content." And when I started doing content, it was just the best thing that's ever happened to me. Cause like, I've also YouTubers inspirations like Markiplier, PewDiePie,
Still like an artist.
um
That's
yeah.
literally, I had to read a book about that in my digital communications class, and like making your own brand for yourself, like before you leave and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
that's
and
literally all you have to do.
Yeah, even Mr. Beast. Remember Mr. Beast when he first started out?
Yep.
I remember his first video ever that came up that really went popular was when he was gave a homeless man $10,000,
Yep.
and then his channel, nothing but positivity after that, except for, of course, for the Chris incident, but we'll leave that out,
Yeah,
so
we'll
no one
leave
cares
that.
about that. He's out of there and he's gone, so thank God, but anyway, so basically, just being inspired by people can just mean a lot to you because it shows that you can do something for yourself as well if you're dedicated to it, if you're willing to sacrifice the time and effort just to
Yep.
go and strive for your what you want in your life. And what I want is to become a popular and successful YouTuber. And I want to be a TikToker, but TikTok's being banned in like what's today's date? The 12th in literally a week.
Yeah,
Unless tomorrow Supreme Court upholds it and Trump, I guess, can have a resolution to fix TikTok. But I think TikTok's gonna be ruined by then before Trump can do
exactly.
anything. So there's really no point. But yeah, so basically just being inspired by those YouTubers helped me grow to see what I want to do. And that's something I really want to do. And I've seen many content creators, they always start with a job, like a career, like working at a restaurant or working at like an
Fast
office
food.
job. And exactly. And
Yeah,
it's hard at first. But once you start realizing how like when your popularity grows and and people are starting to engage your content, you can start supporting yourself. And then when you get more popular, you get more brands, more
brand
connections,
offers,
you get
promotions.
brand
Yep.
exactly. You can be able to provide for everyone. That's what I want to do. Like, you know how much, bro? Mar PewDiePie made millions of dollars easily from his channel,
Yep.
easily. Mr. Beast, easily. Markiplier, easily. Um, what's his name? Airs, easily. But you have to dedicate yourself. You can't let go of that effort you just did all for yourself for nothing. Because I feel like if I give up on this, my life is going to be an empty bucket. And I want that bucket to be filled by water, which is the hope and dreams that I want for myself for content.
And
And that's what I
exactly.
want to do.
And you gotta keep the consistency going, and that's what's killing me
And
because
there, and there,
I know I have it. It's just I have to keep that consistency at being keeping it stable to where I'm building those bricks to keep building higher and higher to where I
and
can
there's and
reach who I want.
there's many people that are going to tell you that you can't do this. This is not possible. This is something you shouldn't pursue. You can't listen to the people who doubt you. If you believe you have something in mind, if you believe you have something within you that's able to do something, you got to do it. Believe in your dreams. If you give up on those dreams because someone tells you to, that is not the person you should be with at all.
Exactly.
If it's my mom, fine. That's my mom because she wants the best
It's
for me.
family.
That
Exactly.
that's exactly.
And
She
what you
doesn't count.
And what you just mentioned, remember how you talk about how the inner part of ourselves, remember what
Mhm.
Sylvester said? I believe there's
Yep.
an inner power that makes us winners or losers. And
Exactly.
that puts into it. And that's why I love what it's so weird and coincidentally happens. Like you can believe in whatever you want to believe in, but certain situations happen. And like in this podcast, how we're talking about certain stuff about how we inspire ourselves. I even got a tattoo that says the word inspire. Crazy. But um doing all this stuff that Nick's talking about and keeping up with social media, trying to be the best we can, grow our audience and all that stuff. We literally have to do it ourselves first and then pursue it and then use the amount of time we have that we can. Because guess what? You got to set your priorities straight and you got to figure out what's first, what's second, what's third, and then beyond that and let it unravel. But you got
Yep.
to really be schedule oriented and know what you have to do, especially for social media. I know Nick maybe I don't get much time to spend with him and talk with him on a podcast like this, which is I'm so thankful for that he gave up some time because he's actually going back to school tomorrow, and it's going to be really busy for both of us to talk to each other and teach each other certain things. And I appreciate the time that he came out to come onto this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we've been delaying it for a bit, so,
Yeah, I had to come back to
I
my
think we've been
PC
delayed for like a couple months, maybe
two
several months,
months, 2 or
actually.
3 months. Yeah,
No, it might have been longer than that, probably the summer.
October? No, October. Well, we talked about it in the summer, but I was trying to get you to do it in like October when I was here at my
Oh,
PC.
yeah, that
Yeah,
I agree, yeah. But, yeah, so we've been delaying it for a bit, so, yeah, I got the time to do it, and, I so far TikTok has just been bleh because of
It's
the, you
going
know, the
downhill.
exactly. So I got to start doing YouTube eventually, and YouTube is just going to be one of my main. It's going to probably be my mainstream, unless there's going to be another huge app that comes out. Let's say
Exactly.
TikTok's gone, and there's going to be a huge app that will take over TikTok. We'll see. Let's see what the future holds. But TikTok was one of those platforms that I enjoyed being on.
I agree.
It might have been a pain in the ass in times because
Mhm.
of what the guidelines were, but it's TikTok. I understand, but
Exactly.
it is what it is. So
Exactly. And if you guys ever need help, I'm gonna talk about later in the podcast what his information is. If you guys want to reach out to him, support him. He's got a Patreon and all that stuff, but we'll get into that later. But let's get into what's behind you, what I do, what we both do, and what Sam does is collecting stuff. Funkos, anime
mm.
characters, controllers, mouses, keyboards. Now we got microphones. Like I want you to talk about your collection and you talking about how you got into collecting and all that.
Okay, so basically, the anime dweeb that I am, that I said before, so I just collect anything anime. Like, if we just show for just based on the camera, if Camden ever shows his podcast just based on with the face cams that we have, it's all Funko Pops and like collectibles that are anime. There's nothing you see that's not anime except for Ash Williams from Evil Dead, the chase. That's the only thing that I don't have that's not anime is what that's the only thing I have.
I
But
have nothing behind
so,
me. It's just a white wall. So I
yeah,
just
it's just a
showed
white
shadow,
wall.
but I have Funkos behind this camera that I'm recording on.
So yeah, I've collected them. I've got things signed from the main voice actors of them. So I've been collecting them for a bit. So the person that got me into actually collecting Funko Pops was Sam. So we all know Sam's unemployment business, to how he tries to sell his Funko Pops every time, and whatever chase he sees, he sells it, which is basically the cheaper variant of the pop that goes for more than the original. So Sam likes to wiggle his way through his ways just to find as many pops as possible for his unemployment business. So but I respect him because he got me into doing Funko Pops and buying Funko Pops, and I still do because I want to get all of them, and I wish I could, but, everyone has a budget for
Yep.
everything because, we have bills to pay, we gotta, all that other stuff. But I
Hmm.
can buy and collect whatever I can to see what I get. But I appreciate Sam for always, introducing it to me because I really enjoy as one of my hobbies of doing is collecting them, unlike his unemployment business. Sorry, Sam, I love you, but your unemployment business is about to go out of business soon. No, I'm just playing. So basically I still appreciate Sam for just showing me it, and, I thank everyone else who enjoys the same hobby as me, like Camden, for example, likes doing it, loves enjoying, collecting Funko Pops, of things, of course, he likes. Like, I recently
Exactly. And that's
bought
the thing.
yeah, like, I recently bought a, Silver Pop, Silver from Sonic the Hedgehog, because I love Sonic too, but I'm like, I feel like Camden would like it more, so I decided to sell it to him, and I feel like that he would treasure it more than me, so I
Yep.
just let him have it. Is it at your house or is it at your place in
No,
Georgia?
it's at home. And the thing is
Oh, okay.
too, and the main reason why I bought it is because believe he's gonna be in a series soon with Sonic, or he's gonna be in one of the next movies. And guess what? That's gonna make it with some money.
Yup, 100%, because the amount of Sonic movies, just based on that Sonic movie in general, like the first one, when they changed that design, that saved the whole franchise right
Yep.
there. Because if they released that with that Sonic would have tanked so badly that we would have never seen Shadow, Knuckles, Tails in the big theaters, in the big screen,
Yep.
ever. So I'm glad the people and the directors that made this movie listened to their fans and re-advise the Sonic the original Sonic, I guess, character itself into the movie, and that benefited them so much, and I'm grateful for that. So big thing on big congrats for Sonic. It was unbelievable that they were able to put that on the big screen because I think everyone wanted that.
Exactly. They just let it run it. Get it? Jelly Roll song?
Yeah, yep. Gotta go fast, man.
Gotta go fast. But no, collecting stuff. Sam sort of got me into it, but funny enough, my first Funko Pop I think was either Michael Scott or it was no, it was I think it was Undertaker, one of the original WWE pops. Because I've been a WWE fan since like 2010, and I actually just ordered the new John Cena farewell pop. And I do stuff that treasures for me or what has benefited me as a child or whatever. And talking about anime as well, Nick got me into anime, which I'm thankful for. Yeah, I'm not going to get into Dragon Ball like he is. He's a nerd about it. But he got me into one anime and I finished it through, sort of. I started getting into My Hero Academia. Freaking love that show. It's a superhero show that I thought I would never get into. It was slow, but then when it started getting slow again from like season 4 and 5, I watched recap videos and understood what was going on, and now I'm caught up. But he's still a season behind, which is crazy. He needs to
Yeah,
watch
because
it because it's
yeah, it's
not
because
peak.
like
It's not peak.
well, no, I never said it's not peak. I think it's a good show. It's just that it's not like my main priority right now because like I kind of dropped it for a bit just to take a break from it. But like whenever season eight's coming out, I'm probably gonna
It's the
watch
last
season
season.
7. Yeah, it's the last season, which is crazy to me because I remember people were like hyping up that season 6 came out and all like, oh no, Vigilante Deku was coming out and all that shit. And people were like crazy about him and everyone loved him and all that stuff. But I just took a break from it because when you watch certain animes, like you need to take a break from it. And I just
Exactly.
that's like one of like you get a little bit burnt out from it, but you don't get too burnt out because if you force yourself to watch something, you get like, oh, bro, it's the same like thing every time. Oh, I don't want to watch it,
Hmm.
and then you don't want to watch anything anymore. That's why you gotta like take breaks, watch something new, explore. That's the whole point.
And
And once you
that's
explore, then you'll start like want to go back to the things you watched before, and then you can start when you're not burnt out anymore from just watching other stuff, go back to the thing you wanted to watch that you're almost burnt out from, and then you can finish it off.
exactly, and that's what I'm doing. Chainsaw Man, I'm almost done with the first season, and now I'm gonna move to one of the romance ones that Nick actually added into my Crunchyroll list to watch with the other stuff like Black Clover, Bleach, and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
But
bro, I'm telling you. So even some people agree with this on me that are big anime fans like me. Some romance animes are a lot better than some shonen animes, and it's true. There's I can like I can name so many right now, but like I just don't want to because I feel like this podcast can go for like 2 hours.
yeah,
So well let's not do that. But I feel like that just watching so any anime in general are I think they're all beautiful as is for their own individual style,
yep,
adaptation, animation, colors, et cetera, et cetera. And even the plot, even the characters too. Like each one has like some uniqueness to it, and I love watching every single thing I've been recommended to or I've seen that I'm really interested in watching, and then I'll be ending up watching it, and I'll love that. I love the anime, and then I'll go on this website called AniList.com, where you go on the website and you watch and you like mark down things you've watched and you give a rating of it, and
you didn't tell me
and yeah,
about this.
oh,
You
I
better
swear I
send that
did.
over after this podcast.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, so you basically any anime that you ever searched up or that's been made since the 80s, since like oh what's that anime called? Akira from
What?
1988. That's like one of the first ones that came out. It was such a huge hit. Like Cam, I don't know if you remember, but remember the Shadow from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 when Shadow was like using his bike to skeet across the it was the
Yes.
actually that slide is actually inspired by Akira from 1988. That's the
Wow.
slide. They call it the Akira slide, and that's what
Interesting.
Shadows think. Many things do it. Many animes, many shows, they do that single thing because
Still
that
like
was
an
inspired
artist.
by that 1988 show or movie. I think it's a movie. I haven't watched it, but I need to watch it. I heard it's really, really good. But what was I saying before that I got into Akira? What was I saying before again?
Uh, we were just
Oh,
talking.
the AniList.
Yes.
AniList. Okay, so basically, it's AniList is just a website you can. So you just basically any anime in general you think of, anything you can think of,
So is it like
you type.
Letterbox? Because that's for movies and some shows.
Yes, yeah. So
Okay.
basically, you search up any anime you've watched, you type it in, you say you're either planning to watch it, you've already watched it and completed it, or you're currently watching it, and then you could just update that. And then if you completed it, you can give a rating of it, and you just type it out of 10. And my list is up there to the ones I've watched, and you can just see that on my list right now if I could just send you that, and I could there's, like, animes
Okay.
that you can, like, look at and see what you'd be interested in, basically.
Okay.
So you can take a look at that, but
Gotcha. Well, we talked about social media a lot during this and like how you guys can start and do start your own thing and what you guys should like respect by or like little guidelines to keep consistent. Got to post a lot. You got to you're going to attract followers if you keep posting consistently. But what is your current social media situation, Nick? I heard you talking about moving to YouTube and you have nothing on your YouTube. I know because I've looked at it multiple times.
well, I have, like, 2 videos on there, but
But
it's,
what are you
like,
going to do
gaming
about it?
things. I'm gonna do anime reaction videos for sure. That's, like, one of the things that I plan on doing, but I'm gonna try to make it an anime-oriented channel, basically.
Okay.
Like, it just doesn't have to be just reactions, like, I'm gonna try to see what other anime implements I could do anime gaming, like anime games, I may do Dragon Ball Legends, we'll see. Or I also may try, like, other anime games and just,
Mhm.
try to be myself and then just make the best content, edit those videos, and do what I do best, you
And
know?
that's the thing too, like, it's very unlike TikTok, and YouTube's never gonna leave, but the thing is, YouTube, you can do multiple things around the same niche, and you can still get popular and attraction and views, and shorts are the best way to get that audience, and TikTok, you only can post one certain niche and just stay there and keep doing that,
Yeah.
because that's what happened to me, and my TikTok went to complete crap, and that's why I'm not posting videos on there anymore. And that's why I'm gonna stick with YouTube because I'm keeping with my wrestling stuff. If you guys listen to my last or no, my 2 podcasts ago when I was talking to my buddy Ron, that literally is all I'm doing is wrestling content, and that's what I'm sticking with. And then now I have one where I post shorts for bowling, and I might go into doing talking about bowling stuff because that's another hobby of mine is bowling and then wrestling. So that's my current social media situation. I just need to get better at posting and being consistent. I know how to do edit. I know how to do thumbnails. It's just I got to keep being consistent to where I'm getting that same audience and a little bit better each time to where the views are going up and being a little more steady. Because YouTube requirements to make money, it's hard and it's a lot of work.
Isn't it like 1,000, like, subscribers and you have to, like, reach, like, 10,000,000, like, views on shorts?
No, I think it's now they changed it to where you can have it at 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours of videos because shorts you have to get 3 million short views and then there's at 1,000 and 4,000 watch hours. So there's like 3 different things that you can hit. But the easiest one is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, which I'm only at almost 1,600 watch hours. So I'm close, but I just need to keep going to where it's going to build. So,
Interesting, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my plan. I'm gonna start doing YouTube probably today, actually. Now that you're talking about YouTube, I'm gonna start doing, like, recording myself watching, an anime that I'm doing, and then I'm obviously just gonna crop the
Mhm.
video. I'm gonna record the video, download the episode, and just, transfer it all into probably maybe Premiere Pro and figure that all that stuff out, so
Yeah. Well, I hope the best for you. I can help you curate like ideas and stuff that what you want to post and all that stuff
yeah,
because
I do appreciate what you sent me because I never thought to, like, actually think that that was a YouTube video, what you
you
sent me
gotta
earlier.
yeah, you gotta literally research. And
Exactly.
you gotta look at similar channels and post your own thing of certain things and kind of like I said, I mentioned a couple times now, steal like an artist from different channels and make it your own. And if you make it your own and then you use certain because you have to use hashtags now on YouTube to get traction on your videos, especially on shorts. But if you have a video that's probably 10 to 15 minutes, get 3 to 4 shorts and use the same hashtags and you should be getting some traction more than 1,000 views and you might get a couple subscribers and comments from it because that's what's happened with me, which is crazy.
Yep.
There's a whole
Yep.
thing, and if you guys want to get taught on how to get a little established on YouTube and stuff, just I'll talk about promoting our social medias and stuff later in the podcast. But to move a little more forward, Nick, talk about your future goals that you have. It could be social media, it could be after college, it could be a relationship. Like, what are your? I'm gonna give you. What are your 3 to 5 main goals that you wanna accomplish in the next year or a couple years?
So my main goal is to start trying to see if YouTube will be my main source of streams and content. Because TikTok, I've been so used to TikTok, so it's gonna be weird for me branching into a different social media platform. So I want to plan to just set and just create an actual good YouTube account for people that want to enjoy watching me, and just try to find a way to make content that is not going to be copyrighted, it's not going to be flagged, or it's not going to be like attractable to people that want to watch me. So I want to make it as entertaining as it as, entertaining as possible. So just wanting to see myself grow for YouTube. Like I want to try to reach. Screw it. Let's try to reach 100K subscribers next year. I'll go for it. I'll strive for that. I don't care if I fail. Fine. I'm not going to give up on that. But I'm going to strive.
I
I'm going to
love
strive for 100.
that. I love
I'm
and
going to strive
hate
for
that at the same
100K.
time.
But guess what? If I don't get that, because sometimes people say that if you ever watch like your favorite YouTuber, like let's get to like 10,000 likes on this video, or let's get to a 200K by the end of this year. They obviously sometimes they don't do it, but does that stop them? No, they keep
But
going.
yeah, because they wanna be consistent with it and get to that point eventually.
Exactly. You don't like
So
that's just like an
mm.
anticipated like what? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I stop you?
No,
My
no,
bad.
no, no, no. Continue what you're gonna say. I have something to say after you say something.
Okay, so like, it's you're anticipating when your goal is for what kind of amount of subscribers you have on YouTube. And you just gotta let that grow. You gotta let that channel be it's basically your child. YouTube is your child if you want to make it grow. And if you make it grow, it's gonna become more, it's gonna be bigger, stronger, it's gonna be worth more. And that's why I think that like having a YouTube channel can be either be like your own child or your own business or your brand.
Exactly.
So
I agree with that. And guess what? If you have goals that are bigger than life, yeah, you're gonna have mini goals that are gonna curate and be that bigger goal. Like you just said, 100,000. Yeah, that's a plaque on YouTube you could put in your wall behind you. Cool. But guess what? Right now, what? You're at 200 subscribers. Your next goal is 500. Then after that's 1,000. And after that, you get 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. You just got to be consistent and keeping, you got to know what your audience wants and figuring out what can be consistent, make it a little different each time and stay in that niche. Because guess what? Your channel is going to grow this year. I know that 100%.
I believe that too. I like at
Yeah,
first, like when sometimes when if YouTube flags me because of something of copyright, because of certain things, like I've included this a part of a clip too long. Like there's gonna be times of struggle. There's gonna be times like this. You can't post this video now. Now you have to
yeah. You know what you're doing, and I believe that you're going to get there 100%.
And I believe you can get there too, bro. It's just that you have to be dedicated. You like I know I think you're having hard times because you're away from home. And it's
Yep.
hard. You're not with friends, you're not with family. It's just you. And
Mhm.
that's much harder than where I'm at. So I feel like that you will definitely you need to overcome that, and I think you will. And if you overcome that, I believe you're going to do great, and I feel like that is going to reward is going to come very soon for you when you start overcoming those hardships, the stress, all that, loneliness when people are not around you, even because you just got a recently just got a girlfriend. Good for you. I'm proud of you for that. And
Bruh, you gotta mention it in the podcast is crazy.
of course I do, bro. And I'm grateful,
Crazy.
you got one that's like willing to be with you. I hope for the rest of your life if she is the one. I believe she is the
Exactly.
one because if she cares about you that much, she's calling you every day, she's making sure you're okay, you're making sure she's okay, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
I hope you guys are going strong and supporting each other as always. So, you're away from all of that because of school.
Yeah,
and
and
that's just
it
makes it a
sucks.
lot harder, and it trust me, it sucks. Be going home just to yourself is the it could be the most lonely thing ever. If that was me, if I was ever, like, dorming by myself, having no one around me, that's I would feel like shit.
Well, and the thing is too, that's why one, I'm making content to pass time. Two, watching shows and watching wrestling, pass time. Bowling, I have my bowling family here at school. Love him. Love everybody. Getting better. I may not be on varsity or bowling, but I'm supporting and I have a role on that team. And
Yeah.
I've came to recognition with that not recently, but in the past year to 2 years. And it's crazy to I just need to keep filling my time. I feel like I'm on my phone a little too much because I'm thinking of social media content to do research and all that stuff, and then I have family to call at night, and I have a my priorities are set. I just need to be consistent with, especially content and making the podcast. I'm trying to find guests. I don't want to do it alone, that kind of thing, and that's why I don't post a lot. And that's
Yeah.
kind of talking about yeah, I have a couple people lined up for my future podcast guests, and I'm definitely going to be recording more podcast episodes when I go home because I'll be with the boys. We could be recording at Nick's place. We could be just hopping on a
Yeah.
Discord call like this and doing that. But it's definitely going to be more consistent while I'm home because then I can control more things because I'll probably have a set schedule. Like I'll probably work, then I'll have time at night to do podcasts, do content, and I'm not worried about multiple things like I am at school. And I don't know where time's going to be because certain things can change easier at school than it would be if I was at home.
Yeah, and I also feel like that, if you just stick to your podcast, I feel like you can go somewhere. If you're willing to, like, make it entertaining like we are trying to do right now, and we're trying to always make it grow, we just keep posting. Even even if you want to, make edits of it. Try to, like, see what things that you can include, not include, or you can just add some things in it to make it just, to shaping it up, and I feel like that will make this podcast more, I guess, it could stand out. I feel like
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm
this
thinking of
podcast
too.
definitely can.
And that's why I'm going to be starting to do video like I'm using with this. Like I know you literally mentioned before we started recording, oh, I don't think I want video on blah blah blah. But I just want it because I can get one-on-one and talk with you. And now that you just mentioned edits, I can create shorts out of that and then use CapCut and have them make it for me and then post those and then post shorts and then getting subscribers and an audience from that because I have what 10 subscribers now on YouTube for it because YouTube is probably going to be the easiest. Did some research too. YouTube is going to be the easiest for small podcasts to get popular because the only places that get a lot of attraction is the big podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and like Amazon Music and all that stuff. YouTube is the ultimate social media platform if you want to grow and start content like a podcast. I literally just found out last year that they have a podcast section. You just add your RSS feed. You do that. And I have my three kinds of content that I'm going to be making. My podcast, which I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do stuff on my own so I can post every Friday and get more content and views that way. I can recap my week, blah, blah, blah. Two, I have my wrestling, which I can do edits and post shorts of that, of like main things that have happened in a week or recent news, because those tend to get a lot more views, or like what's next for a certain superstar. And three, the third thing that would be is my bowling, and that's when I go bowling and just record a couple shots and then make an interesting title and just see if people like it. Which one of my videos got like 13 to 14,000 views just because I asked a certain question, which is crazy. But I think those are the three mains of content I'm going to be starting to make more
Wait,
of.
did you say you got 13, 14,000 from what, the podcast or, like, from
No, from my bowling short that I posted on YouTube got that much, and it got a
Oh,
lot of
wow,
attraction.
really?
Yeah, it got like
Wow,
20 comments.
I'm kinda shocked about that actually,
I
I
know,
thought
crazy.
like, bowling's not that really popular if you go on YouTube and all that stuff, so I'm kinda shocked about that actually.
No, there's a decent audience on YouTube for bowling, which is crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cleared up these two. So Nick, promote yourself. Talk about yourself for a little bit, your content, what you're doing, where you post on. all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so basically I post on social medias like YouTube that I'm trying to do now. I do on TikTok. So basically, I post reaction videos on TikTok, and I also do, of course, the editing one on my other one. But I mainly been focusing on my reaction one. But these past few days, I've been just focusing on the editing one. So I'm just like going back and forth right now. But I'm just basically trying to make that grow so I can just move anyone else of my followers to YouTube, so they know where I'm at. They know where to watch my reactions, and they're always gonna like it. Because funny thing, on Discord, one of my editing communities. So basically, a guy commented, or texted in the English chat because there's different languages of these people that I hang out with. So like I listen to people from Malaysia, from Mongolia, all these different places around the world. So basically, there was this chat of the guy saying, that guy Optic in the VI, because I'm a VIP in that Discord server. So he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that Optic guy, is he the guy that does videos?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. This guy knows me?" So I'm like, I text him like, "What? It depends what this Optic guy does." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, it's are you the guy that does videos?" I'm like, "Yeah, and that's me." And he's like, "Oh shit, no way." So I'm like, "Yeah, I just watch your videos. I've been watching it since like oh, what do you say? Since one of the first ones I've ever watched." I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy." So, like, just seeing recognition from someone that, because 'cause I'm not popular. I'm not a like, if you walk up to a random guy on the street, and if you know who Optic Reacts is, do you think that motherfucker is gonna know who I am? No, absolutely not. But sorry for cussing. I know I've cussed, I think,
Oh
like,
my
many
gosh.
times in this, but
Yeah, but that's over 10. About.
oh, okay, it's whatever, but that's how I am, I'm Italian. So, basically, when I first saw that, I'm like, "Whoa, okay, that's awesome," because like I said before, no one like, or if you go to a random guy, he's not gonna know who the hell Optic Reacts is. It's just I'm not a popular guy. I may have, like, what, 64,000 followers on TikTok, which is a lot, but not that much, like, compared to,
Yeah.
like, millions of followers or even hundreds of
Mhm.
thousands of followers. But I'm up there, I'm getting up there, but it's crazy.
What happened?
What the hell was that?
I
Did you
didn't
hear
even
that?
no, I didn't hear nothing. Something's going on over in optics community. Well, that goes on, and he's fixing something. So he also posts on Patreon, and if you guys want to look it up, it's Optic Reacts on there. Everything's Optic Reacts or Optic AE. He's doing Instagram for his react or not react. He's doing his edits on there. He's got about 18,000 followers on Instagram, which is pretty dang cool because Instagram's pretty hard to get into and get a big community on. And then you have his YouTube, which he's going to be starting Optic Reacts. That's on there. TikTok's going away, so he ain't worrying about that. I know that for sure. And then that's pretty much it because the only social medias and how you can get big and get a community on is definitely number one is going to be YouTube for him. I'm guessing he's going to start doing that. Number two is Patreon when he has people in his Discord that want to pay for certain things to watch certain content with him. He's been pretty successful with his Patreon. I'm jealous, and I wish I could get recognition like he does. It's crazy, but guess what? My consistency's been down very low,
Yeah, you
and if I
see,
can get up
like,
higher, I'd love to do that,
you
and
see,
I'm proud of you for it.
I'm so I think I'm better now. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
you're
I just
good.
I kept hearing static of my voice. I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
No,
I
it's fine
kept
over
hearing it in
here.
my speakers. Oh, was it from you?
No? Wait, listen.
Oh, is it good now?
No, I don't know, I didn't hear anything, so I think
Oh,
we're good.
I guess it was just me then. So
Yeah.
anyway, so, well, I'm sorry, what you were talking about again? I'm sorry. Oh,
No,
the Patreon.
I was just promoting your stuff, and then, yeah, I
Yeah,
mentioned
exactly. So
yeah.
Patreon, like, I have over 200 members on that channel, and it's still growing. It's just that I haven't posted lately, so there's not really much people, like, joining. So I'm gonna obviously move that to YouTube, and I'm gonna start putting links down of my on YouTube when I of my reactions to see the full reaction. And so basically, once I do all that, um, I'm obviously gonna make it more accessible to people who obviously that can't pay for it. I might make it free for everyone and allow people to watch it early to be obviously to be pay for it, so I can just
Mhm.
have videos in the future so people else can watch it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So like
Be
it
proactive
can
on
help
it.
people like
Exactly.
interact and buy it. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, also make sure to cut that part out before with the
No, it's fine. I was talking while you were doing it, so don't worry.
Okay, that's fine.
I was
'Cause
promoting your stuff and, like, I feel like you need to prioritize 1 YouTube, 2 Patreon, and then I don't know what your 3rd one would be.
it would probably be like another mainstream one that would probably be like another one. Probably maybe like, I don't know.
Instagram,
There's
no. That's way too
nah,
hard.
Instagram maybe, it depends.
'Cause yeah, there's really not a 3rd one out, so it'd just be literally you just posting on YouTube and then
Unless there's a
Patreon.
big app like TikTok that comes out
Lemonade,
for
the
us.
people are saying Lemonade's gonna be the new TikTok. No. I've tried it and saw the algorithm. Hell no. Uh-uh.
I have it right now. I'm gonna double check, see how this is.
It's
'Cause I
very
know
biased. If you look on the For You page when you first start out, it's so weird. But yeah,
oh,
no. Um, just his social media platform has definitely boosted up, and hopefully 2025 boosts both of ours up to where we both have our audience. We're set. We're being more consistent. We're doing our own thing. We had literally have made our setups better to where we don't have to really do anything with our setups. We just got to make content, edit. It's really all we got to
exactly.
do.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy that you literally had me start doing content 2 years ago, and now that's what I want to pursue and be a social media manager or freelance or whatever for a job after school. Because school is a lot of money. Just saying, college is a lot of money, and you got to be dedicated to it. But
Yeah, let me explain. Do not go to college if you know for sure what you wanna be, because it's gonna be a waste of time if you do, and it's gonna be a waste of money as well, because that means you're gonna be in debt, and you're gonna be really in a really bad situation. So, if you wanna go to college, go to college if you know what occupation you want to pursue. That's my advice. If
unless the job that you want to pursue it has you getting a degree or whatever, and you need to get a degree for something. Like, my
yeah,
degree that I'm getting is in film and TV, but I have on my resume a lot of social media stuff, a lot of good things that exactly what I want to pursue. And you just got to keep applying to places too. Like me and Nick
yeah,
recently have both figured that out that we're going to be applying to over 100 places for a job after we graduate. It'd be nice for us
yeah,
to work remote because we built our setups like this, but guess what? We make content with it. So, and we have fun, we play games, and yeah, we both just got to figure
yeah.
out our social
I mean,
media.
I wish there was a job like this because I feel like I would ace it easily because this
Mhm.
setup is just I spent so much money on my setup.
Me
I think
too.
I've spent so I probably spent over maybe 2 grand over my, PC,
Agreed, same.
plus the setup, maybe another 2,000, maybe a little bit less, but
Mine's probably another 500 to 1,000, I'd say, because of
because
monitors.
each monitor so that was 329, 180, 200, so that's like 500 just for the monitors, and then there's the microphone, the keyboards, the Steam Deck, speakers, um, and all the other stuff I have in my room. I easily spent over 5,000 easily in my room, easily,
It's
maybe more,
crazy.
but it's just how it is. That's how a content creator is. They just want to do everything they want to do. They want to collect. They want to make content. They want to have the best quality ever.
Yep. That's just crazy because you just got something else too that you bought, your Oculus. You wanna talk about
Oh
that?
yes, yeah. My
'Cause
Oculus
you
Quest
can make
3.
so much good content with that too, but, like, if you're making anime, is there anime games that you're gonna be doing with that to put on your YouTube or whatever?
Yeah, there's Attack on Titan game that's an of course a very famous anime in Japan and America, and it's also considered one of the best animes of all time. So basically, it's a game where you act as one of the soldiers that can kill titans, and it's really fun. But sometimes wearing a headset like that can make you really dizzy, depending on
Yep.
the
Epilepsy
situation
and
you're
all
in.
sorts
So
of stuff, yeah.
exactly. So you got to be careful with that. But I'm fine with it. I just don't like playing it for too long because I feel like shit after if you play for like 3 hours because
Mhm.
you're like stuck because your eyes are like being determined that what's in front of you is real. but your brain really can't process it
Process
for
it.
that
Yep.
long. So it's got to be stuck with reality. It's got to be stuck with, your surroundings, not with, fake. They're called, your fake environments, I should say.
And funny enough, we're talking about the Oculus. The last one he had, there's a TV actually behind Nick. You want
Oh,
to talk about that?
yeah, let me tell the story. Okay, so basically, I was playing Beat Saber on my Quest 2 VR. And so Quest 3, thankfully, has a mixed reality, which means that it's able to use the cameras to be able to see your surroundings around you and be able to use games that you play to mix with the reality that you're in. So like the one I'm in right now. But the Quest 2 didn't have that. So the Quest 2, you're unable to see what's around you. But you're able to create boundaries to see where you are to make sure you're not banging into anything, you're not hitting anything, or you're not like breaking anything. So for me, because I have really long arms, I have a 6'3" wingspan, even though it doesn't seem big to others, but I have a 6'3" wingspan. So my arms are pretty damn long compared to my room. So basically, I was playing this game called Beat Saber. It's where you have like corresponding boxes that you use to hit the direction of where the box is supposed to be hit from. And there's a song that's playing with it. It could be one of your favorite songs. It could be maybe a melody, a beat, or something. I don't know. So I'm playing, and all of a sudden there was a little box that goes to the left. If I remember correctly when I'm playing, yeah, to the left. So I'm in a stationary boundary, which means that I'm staying in one spot. But remember, my arms are very long. So I'm playing the game, and then the box to my left goes out far. So I went to swing it. I hear bang. I'm like, oh shit. I take off my VR headset. I look to my left. I see my 55-inch TV smashed to oblivion because I didn't see where my arms were when I had stationary boundary active. Because that stupid box in that game made me reach so far in front of me that I smashed
Oh,
my hand into the TV.
oh my
And
God.
I remember the day of that. I woke up. I didn't wake up, but I remember the day when I broke it. That like the minute I broke it, I call and text my mom. I'm like, Mom, I broke my TV downstairs, and all of a sudden you hear this. You just hear footsteps going down the stairs. She comes downstairs in my room. She's like, "Where?" The TV was off because I shut it off. I'm like, "Please work." I turn it on. It turns on, but you just see a huge smash. If you ever smash a TV before, it's like pixelated and like all the colors are like disoriented.
Yep.
You just see it, and my mom's like, "You dumbass," and then she was calling me an idiot the entire time. Like, okay, well, you gotta buy a new TV. I'm like, yes, I know, but I had money time. I have a job, so. But it sucks. I didn't want to buy a new TV. I have a 45-inch, which is a little bit smaller, but I had it elevated recently, so I can still see it when I'm laying in bed when I'm watching TV before I go to bed. So it's good. It's good now. I don't care. I'm
And
fine with the 45 inch.
you don't play your
The
Oculus
the
in
only
that room
VR
anymore.
the only time I play VR is, like, if I'm, like, right here, like, at least 8 feet or 9 feet away from my TV. Or I
Or
just play in the other room when
yeah, you
there's
play in the
no
other room.
stuff in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Crazy.
So that's basically what happened to that unfortunate event.
That's crazy. Oh my
I know,
God.
it's just it's how the Quest is because that's why they have stationary boundaries and, they allow you to create your own boundary in the VR headset, so you know where you're at and you're not, like, smashing something by accident. In my case, it was unfortunate for me because I smashed my 55-inch TV, which I really loved and enjoyed, but
Yeah. And you want
it
an
is what it
OLED
is.
TV, and that's expensive.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
expensive just for, like, an OLED. It's 45-inch. OLED's like $1,000. No way. I'd
Yeah,
rather
no
just
way.
spend the 400 I got this for, like, 250 actually. It was a good deal. I got on Best
TVs
Buy.
are cheap right now, which is crazy.
Because TVs are getting, like, ruined by the industry of, iPads, all the different types of
Phones.
technology right now, yeah.
Mhm.
So TVs are not being worth that much anymore.
It's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
with everything we talked about, from anime to social media to being inspirational, figuring out what you want to do for social media, and just memories that we've had and all the things that we've done, and how to get better at Smash, Smash Brothers.
Exactly.
Is there anything
Remember
else you
remember,
want to?
guys remember, guys, I'm teaching I'm when I'm playing with you guys, I'm teaching you how to play. I'm not trying to make you feel like you're crap at the game. This is what my friend Troy did. Shout out Troy. He's the one that taught me how to play the game too. Shout out to him. I'm teaching you how to play the game so you guys can learn and be better. I'm not trying to shit on you every game. And when I tell you what to do, you don't listen to me. I'm just letting you guys know. So that's what I want to say before my farewells to the podcast for today.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about besides that?
I think we've talked about everything. We went through everything. We want to talk about social media, anime, good memories that we've had together, the quote that we did today.
Which
And
tied
yeah,
in with literally
yeah,
the whole podcast, which is crazy.
I'm glad it did because it definitely combined with our topics of today and what we discussed. And
Yeah,
I feel like that kind of benefited and also branched off of that quote. So I really like that quote that you picked for us.
exactly. Well, um, guys, this is Optic Reacts. If you guys see this on YouTube, if you guys hear this as Optic, and he's definitely going to be on for a future podcast. Optic Reacts on YouTube. What else?
TikTok, if you want to go on TikTok if you see this before TikTok, but YouTube and Patreon.
Yep, that's his three mains. Guess what? I'm sticking with YouTube, and I'm sticking with posting my podcast in certain spots, because guess what? I don't understand any other social media, and I don't want to, because it's too out of my time right now, and I don't have too much of it. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Nick, for coming on again,
Anytime,
and
bro.
I appreciate it. And sorry we don't have enough time with each other, and I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for more content, guys. And I appreciate y'all for coming in for episode. Hold on, I don't even know. I didn't check for
Was it like
episode
episode?
8.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 7 or 8.
Yeah, guess what? You got the Kobe number for your episode.
Look at that, Kobe, my legend.
Kobe,
That's my go right there.
Kobe.
Rest in peace. Well,
Rest in
hopefully he's
peace.
doing well in heaven with his daughter Gigi. So
Exactly. But I appreciate y'all for coming on for episode 8 of the Camden Drexel Show. And I will see you guys with another guest. Myself, we will see, and it'll be a surprise. Well, thank you guys for coming on, and I'll see you guys later.
bye, guys.
See ya.